Metals 100 at PDAC 2025 here in Toronto, Canada. We're so glad to have you here, Elmer, from Copper Fox. How are you doing today?
Well, it's great to be back to PDAC again.
Great. So let's start with the look back. So how will the project investment in 2024 will influence your project this year?
Well, the money we spent on the various projects in 2024 actually set the stage for us moving into the 2025 activities. And so, for example, the work that the joint venture did at Schaft Creek, we moved out of doing the pit slope stability geotech drilling. Now we're doing the geotech drilling at the waste rock facility and the storage the tailings facility, and that helps to move the project toward the PFS stage. Same thing is going on right now at Van Dyke. We're finishing up a program now with Stantec, and when we know that, we'll know what the next phase for there is. And at Sombrero Butte, we did some work there this year. We focused on it from the technical standpoint. We think we're just about ready to determine whether we can enter the drill ready stage, and we're in the permitting process with the BLM at Mineral Mountain. And if we get the permit, and we hope we will be going into a diamond drilling program.
Great. So recently you announced a 1.5 million private placement. So how are you going to allocate these funds to advance your project?
The funds from that will primarily be used for the drilling program at Mineral Mountain, and assuming we get the permit from the government, which we think we will. And then that'll be about the first thing we do. We'll finish up the work at Van Dyke, and then we'll make another program for what's the next step should be. We're going to spend a little bit more money on Sombrero Butte, just making sure we put the drill hole locations in the right spot, and then we'll see where we go from there. And if we make a discovery at Mineral Mountain, I'm not saying we will, but if we do, then clearly we'll have to take a real hard look at what we want to do with that project. So that's essentially where the funds will be. And then obviously there's G&A and there's a bunch of other expenses that have to be paid as well.
That sounds great. So what are the top priorities for Schaft Creek in 2025?
The geotechnical drilling in the waste rock facility area, the proposed area there, and the proposed tailings facility, because we're trying to transition the project to the PFS stage, or the preliminary feasibility stage, and we need to have that information to make sure those locations are the right locations, because you can't go down the road without knowing pretty much where the infrastructure is going to go, because you can't really progress the project until that is known. And then clearly there'll be a lot of studies like a mineral resource estimation. They're going to be updating the models and completing some of the work coming out of 2024.
Let's talk about the Sombrero Butte. So what are the results of the geophysical survey showing?
Actually, it was pretty impressive. I was quite surprised. We did a lot of field work there last year, and we had an idea, maybe the trend of the potential porphyry system, but the geophysical survey it gave us a much larger chargeability and conductivity signature than we were anticipating. It explained some of the drilling that was done by the prior operator on the project in 2008, and now, it matches the geology. And it's got some serious size to it, and it's got some serious depth extent to it. So we're just going to be doing a little bit of work there just to make sure if we enter a plan of operation, we put the locations on the map. Because once you do that with a plan of operation, you can't go in and say, oh, we'd like to drill over there. That's not the way it works. That's the spot. So yeah, it was great. We were really, really surprised with it.
Looking at the bigger picture, what factors will drive your company's stock performance?
Well, I think first and foremost will be the transitioning. If the joint venture can make the determination that they can transition into the PFS stage at Schaft Creek, because that is the next technical stage to move it along. If we get a permit to drill at Mineral Mountain and we make a discovery there, we actually drill a hole into mineralized porphyry system. That should be a big incentive for enhancement. And then the other thing is what are we going to be doing with Van Dyke? Because we're trying to move that project to the PFS stage as well. And I think if we can take our Sombrero Butte project to the drill ready stage, that would just set the project up with we'd have two advanced stage projects. We've got one project with a resource already established, and we have two drill ready projects that are going into the drilling stage. And I think that's a pretty aggressive program for a junior.
Wonderful. That's a great update on Copper Fox, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Elmer. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you for having me.